Hey, my name is Jen Pinkner. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee with my husband Greg, who is a teaching pastor. And I also have two amazing miracle boys that are 6 and 4 who we waited for a long time in infertility. And they came and they, of course, in the best and the most challenging of ways, turned our lives upside down. And that's what led me to Rodan and Fields. See, I have a background in school counseling, people helper, um, so much of a people helper. And in the throes of infertility, I started a nonprofit ministry to mentor and disciple young women in their walk with God. And truthfully, I'd say I have my empty nest experience before children, because I really was at the age of 35 and a little bit before just going, you know what? They aren't promised, and I'm not going to stop life. And I'm not going to just sit in the midst and feel sorry for myself. I want to be able to help others, and I want to help others in learning how to walk through pain and what I've learned. And so I put it to use and got to write curriculum and meet with women, young women in their 20s and 30s. It was really, really fun and really rewarding. But after my boys came along, and especially the second, I just felt myself, like, okay, how do I give them all my attention and emotional energy, and how do I give them attention and emotional energy? And especially when some special needs came up with both of my boys, I found myself running from one side of Knoxville to the other and learning a whole new way of basically teaching play and language to my oldest son, and teaching my youngest son how to eat. Like, we were in feeding therapy for him. And so it was costing money. It was costing me emotional energy. And I just feel like I couldn't keep up with everything. And so I went to my husband going, okay, there's got to be another way for me to make money. But yet, I sounded like a diva in it, and you can say I was, but I want to be there because they need me desperately. But we need money. It's not like in ministry you're like, hey, hand out the money. So I tried an art business. I'm a painter by hobby. Love to do that, but the reality of time to produce and time to market and sell and and the money that you actually make, no, it was, yeah. Especially what I know now in business, because I had no experience in business, and I was like, oh yeah, like that was not a good idea. So I remembered two friends that I really respected. One who was doing this as a side gig, and it was allowing her to pay for some college for her boys, and also after me joining and some time as she kept growing her business, she was allowed to open her dream counseling practice and be able to welcome people in there, which is really cool. And then my other friend has, at the time, she was doing well in leadership in the company and growing, and now she's at the very tip top of our company. And so they talked to me a little bit about Rodan and Fields, but I went to them because just going, I really was like, I can't even believe I'm doing this. I will try to tell people not to buy things because they need to save their money. And do they really have this? Are you putting this on a credit card? Like, all these things, my people helper part just really had a lot of assumptions about business. And I was picturing, a seedy guy coming out of the shadows, smoking a cigarette at the used car lot, going, hey, 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 I'm going to get you. And that's not anyway what this is about. I mean, you might meet somebody who comes out of the shadows with a cigarette talking Rodan and Fields. Run if that's the case. No. But I knew these products worked. And that was, representing a product and a brand that is strong, like the doctors that created Proactive. And my sister had been using, she was in her early 50s at the time, she'd been using the products for 2 years, written all over her face, written all over the faces of the people that I had seen in the business and as customers. And so I knew, okay, this is for real. And Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields put their name on the line. Like, their name is on the company, and they don't need extra cash. But what happened was, and a little brief aside about the company, they are practicing dermatologists, like a 2-year wait list to get into them, and they knew that most people did not go to the dermatologist, like less than 10% of the U.S. population does. And so they thought, what are the 4 main reasons people come to us? Sun damage, sensitive skin, acne, they knew that with the Proactive, and aging. We're all aging. I'm sorry if I've shattered your thought process and you thought you'd get away with it. You must be 25 thinking that. But what they did is they, in their kitchens at night after work, worked tirelessly to find the right ingredients, the right formulations of those ingredients, and in the right order. And that's what's called multi-med therapy. It's their philosophy. And they came out with 4 regimens. And that's where they started, in high-end department stores. In 2002, not many, like a small portion of the population of the United States has a high-end department store. And so they began to see this trend of people coming in and driving because their friend had recommended their skincare instead of the person behind the counter. So, they're never afraid to do things outside of the box. And so what they did, they pulled out in 2007 of high-end department stores, even though they were bestsellers in Nordstrom, their reverse line. And they decided, you know what, in 2008, we're going for it. We are looking outside of the box to bring the word of mouth, people's experience with products, word of mouth to tell others about them, and we're going to give them a piece of the pie. We are going to allow them to be entrepreneurs, and we're going to share. We're not going to hoard. We're going to share our knowledge and wealth with them. And so thus was born Rodan and Fields in the year of the iPhone's release, like the smartphone, and when Facebook kind of went more mainstream. That's the year I got on Facebook. And so what was born was called social commerce. Well, I had seen that social commerce going around, and in fact, I'd seen it with other companies too, and I thought, I don't want to be one of those people. Everybody's selling something. I don't want to be selling something. And then I found myself in need, and I went, okay, this feels different to me. This company feels different. And so I went for it. And what I found is that I could be myself. My word and my reputation and really my caring of people is always going to trump. Like, I'm one of those people that you couldn't. My husband plays the game, hey, for $10,000, would you do X, Y, Z? And I'm like, no, I don't, that's not in my cognitive process. But if I can help people, it is. And I found people coming out of the woodwork to me, asking me, okay, I was looking for someone that I trusted to do this. Or I've seen these before and afters that you're posting little by little, and now I'm intrigued. Tell me about it. And as I've gone along, more people have been curious about the business because they've seen the success of people, regular people who have no business background but are empowered and trained with great training from our company and are able to have flexibility working on their computer, which is what I'm on right now, their smartphone. They're able to leverage their network, which your network is not, especially with social media, it's not like the old school, I don't know if I can say this on like Tupperware party where you are inviting everybody in your town and you are just focusing on the people that you see in real life. You are using your network that, and by using, I don't mean like using, but you've known people all your life and you connect on social media and they see what you're sharing and they know you and they know your character and they're curious about what you're doing. And so I have found connections with friends from high school, acquaintances from high school, with acquaintances from college, different jobs I've had along the way, and even newer people in my life that I have met along the way that really had a need for this in their life, whether skincare or business. And so I love what I've found in the midst is our oldest son was diagnosed with sensory processing disorder. And what that means is we have to be huge advocates for him in education, in therapy, really learning life a different way than we expected. And, I think that could be the definition of adult life is learning to adapt and to set your expectations a different way because life goes a different way. And that's what this business is here for. I love that 3.5 years in, I get to drop my child off at school. And it is a private school that the size and the heart and the academics are the perfect fit for him. He would have drowned just with his exact issues in our amazing neighborhood school just because of how big it was and because of with his needs, he would not have an IEP and there's no guarantee of people looking out for him. And so this business has given me peace of mind to be there, to advocate for him, to be able to pay for his education, and now to look to my youngest son and go, you're going to have that education as well. And to have the time freedom to be able to help them and assist my husband and to change our financial trajectory. It has been a surprise. And let me just tell you that I am not a type A personality. I am an ENFP, anybody who even cares or understands. And so I can tend to want to jump from thing to thing. And this business is always changing. And I'm getting to pour out very much so into women and some men on our team, but it's scratching that itch that I had from my dream job over here that I left behind, and it is it's changing enough to keep me engaged. And I also see that my paycheck grows with the effort, and as we have been growing a team and empowering them, and I love the training and the challenging and the encouraging. I'm an encourager at heart, so I love to see where this is going, and I get to do it in my own personality and in my integrity and with care in my heart for people first and profit second. And I am just, as you can tell, I like it. So think on this. There's a lot of room for growth. We're the #1 skincare brand in the U.S. And we're in 3 countries, Australia, Canada, the U.S. Globally, we're moving forward product innovation, 2 products a year. There's a lot to look forward to, and I hope that you will give it a chance.